So this level was a daily demand zone that we did not touch. Okay, and I was actually looking for this level to be touched at the beginning of July. I had set the levels and giving it to you guys before. We got front ran. All right. Now, if we're taking a look at this market was just ranging for, and MEXC is a shit exchange, but I'm using this chart because all my charts are taken. Okay. So this market was ranging from February, and the range got reclaimed back in July until we actually for sure lost it, right? So now our previous range low, which is the 60 to 61K level, has now been turned into resistance. It's actually an SR level right now, but it's most likely going to offer some type of resistance, right? Um, if we are taking a look at the current price action, now this is not just due to the Middle East conflict, okay? If we take a look at the stock market, about $6.2 trillion worth of USD was taken out from the stock market. Now, the reason for that, I'm not going to go into a huge explanation, is basically there were a lot of people that were, you know, playing with the yen, all right? And they had to sell their positions to go and cover their shorts during this whole entire collapse, right? When the Japanese stock market collapsed. So basically, it's people selling assets, people selling their positions here, which caused mass flurry and panic to go into the Japanese market and to cover their shorts. All right. Ideally, the market, collapsed, right? Like the Japanese market collapsed, and it recovered the next day. That's all I'm going to say regarding that. I'm not an economic expert. I'm not going to go into that, but that caused a lot of markets, traditional, and by lots of markets, I'm talking about like Bitcoin, ETH, Sol. These are different types of markets, right? A lot of these markets had liquidity swept. So there was a demand zone here. We had a swing failure pattern. So all of this is our swing low levels here. Okay. Notice how we came and swept all this liquidity. All of this happened in like basically an hour candle. All this liquidity was grabbed, and then we continued to push up, right? Now, I don't care which lows you are looking at. You could be looking at this low here. It doesn't matter. Liquidity was grabbed, and then we had a move up. So across the market, we had all of these SFPs, right? Here, Sol grabbed this liquidity and then reversed up. These were, and I talk about this all the time, I've made videos about this all the time. SFPs, or swing failure patterns, are one of the highest R&R trades you can find. So once this SFP happened here on the daily, right, this was where I personally shorted Sol. As soon as that candle closed, this is the short that I took, and I was looking for lower, right? But just based off this, and I did take profits at 120. I actually sold my shorts at 120, even though I was looking for lower. Once we took out this and reversed, I actually got long. The long was this. So after that SFP was taken, this candle here, basically yesterday's candle, we swept the liquidity. Right, as soon as that candle closed, I longed with my stops below, and I'm basically playing that range over and over again. We are now in a range for Sol. Now back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin was just one example of a SFP liquidity sweep, right? Once this candle closed, that was a long trigger. However, I didn't long there. I longed this demand zone here that I've been talking about for a while. My spot position is up pretty after all those DCAs from around 55K average. Now, where do we go from here? All right. Now, when we have a move like this, it doesn't mean we're going to V reverse up immediately, right? Like all this move that we had back down here, it took a few days or weeks to consolidate before we went up. So it's going to be a choppy market, especially with this Middle East conflict going on, right? It's still not over. Um, with this, you have to go to a lower time frame. All right. Um, so let's go to the 2 hour. Okay. Now this is the short that I gave in my channel, and we're gonna talk about hedging here. Fuck it. Let's go to the actual chart itself. Okay. So we know that the previous swing low level, okay, this previous swing low level that, oh shit, um, range low level, let's go back to that. Okay, this previous range low level at 61K has, and this range low level is now turned into resistance. So if we go back up there, we are going to be met with rejection on the first go around, and we could be putting in another lower high and then going down from there. But I'm looking at this for a scalp, and this is a hedge against my longs. Now I have four longs open on spot. I have Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, and as just I mentioned at the beginning, a little bit of Floki. But we have to play defense here. All right, we still have this downtrend here on Bitcoin. All right, we've had one, two, three, four, about four touches of this downtrend. We have a supply zone. We have now this is a 4 hour resistance area. Right, we are getting close to it, but we are currently based on this FIB that I pulled at the golden pocket. All right, we did reject from it, and it based if we close the candle like this, we're most likely going to be going down a little bit further down. And I honestly would love to go back down to this demand zone or this order block here. All right, so let me change this into yellow. I don't know if we can get this push up into here, but if we get this dip into this order block, very, very tight stops below 50K. And if we don't get this push up, then hopefully we either get this push down first, and I will long. All right, so DCA will be around 51.3. Okay, and then get a push up, and hopefully I can play this long with a double bottom to 60K. Now, if we get this push up into the short, it's going to be a hedge against my longs. Now, it's not going to be a one-to-one hedge. What is a one-to-one hedge? Now, let's say you have like one Bitcoin long from 50K or 51K, right? A one-to-one hedge means you're opening up a one Bitcoin short. That means if price goes down or price goes up, you're technically net washed, okay? You're not making money, you're not losing money, right? Because if price goes down, right, you're taking those gains away from your spot position, although your leverage position is making money. And if price goes up, you're taking those gains away from your spot position from your leverage position. So regardless, it's a net wash. So that's why I'm not doing a one-to-one here. I have four longs open. I'm basically doing a 0.25 hedge trade. So if theoretically all my spot positions, and we're going to talk about it in Bitcoin terms here. If I have one Bitcoin, I'm opening up a 0.25 short on Bitcoin here, right? So if price goes up, I'm continuously starting to make money on my longs, but also if price goes down, I'm still making money. But I'm playing defense here because I don't know if this is going to be, like the bottom here. So if we can fill and go further down, I'm happy even though my longs are in profit and might go underwater on the way down. I will look to add more to my short upon confirmation. But until that happens, I'm opening up a 0.25 short in comparison to my longs, and I'm looking to write this down to 46K. Now, why am I talking about 46K? First of all, where did I get this level from? We have supply zone. Okay, we have a move down consolidation. It is a 2 hour order block as well. And then I drew the fibs from here to these lows. So my DCA or this confluence comes around the 786 fib. But also we have resistance that we lost. Actually, it's confirmed on the 2 hour. So that's going to be my DCA. And my stop is a 2 hour closure above 60.2K. So this is not a hard stop. if you are not an experienced trader in terms of leverage, your hard stop should be 60.4K. I'm not having a hard stop, so I'm not going to be updating it as a hard stop. But if we close a 2-hour candle above 60.2K, I will manually close this trade out, and I'm still making money on the upswing from my spot long positions. Now, if you are going into this net short, it's going to be a high risk trade. All right, I mentioned this is going to be a hedge. We still haven't filled, so if you're not going to take, if you don't want to take this trade because you don't want to be exposed on just one directional side, I wouldn't take this. So I'm going into this because I am net long currently. But if we do not get this and we get a push down to here, I'm basically looking for a double bottom. All right. Now, I identify bottoms and basically a market structure by line charts. Okay. So wicks are meaningless to me. Wicks are just liquidity grabs, but it depends on where candle bodies close. So I'm looking for a double bottom here. All right. And if we can take the entry at the order block, right? Get this fill and hopefully put in this double bottom and then go up. Great. All right. I'm still going to short if we don't get this short. I will short it once we get up. Now, Bitcoin is gonna range here for a few days. All right. If we continue to go down here, right, it's gonna be most likely. This is now, I'm speaking in relative terms that nothing is going on in the Middle East. All right, because fundamentally, and if we get that news, right, it's just going to nuke through levels, right? But again, don't be a pussy. Buy the dip if we get it, because I still don't think the bull run is over, even though I think that most alts are topped for this cycle. There are going to be coins such as Sol, Bitcoin and ETH that will make new highs. ETH I'm starting to lose a little bit of faith in, but Bitcoin and Sol definitely will make new highs. A lot of other coins are most likely top for the cycle. And I discussed this in my video that I made on Sunday, so watch that. I won't be discovering this, all right? Or I won't be talking about this again. So that's what I'm looking for on Bitcoin. It's going to take some time to consolidate, but if we get this pullback into 52.6, 51K, I think it's a buy. It's a long for sure. Stops below 50K, and then hopefully we can target 60K from there. Now, I'm not going to turn into bullish. I'm not going to be bullish until basically 70K is flipped again. But if we are able to put in a double deviation here, right, and then reclaim the range low levels, I will add to my spot bags. But until that happens, I'm not adding anything to my spot bags. I said most of the coins are top this cycle. I honestly don't care what it's just my opinion, so everyone has their own thing. Your name is also Gensler, so it's irrelevant to me. But I do think most of the coins are top for the cycle. We are definitely not seeing highs on most of these coins from last cycle. Like Link is not going back to $57. All right, most of these shit coins that other paid group members are shilling you and not active in their own servers are not going to be going back to their all-time highs. All right. But that's my plan for Bitcoin. I'm not adding to any spot bags until we are above 60K. I don't care about buying lower. I mean, I'll buy lower. I'm not buying in this area, but I'm not adding anything here. All right. So for ETH, okay. What fucking chart is this? One sec. All right. ETH, same thing here. Right? A lot of people clown me when I said that ETH is going to 2200. This was when ETH was at 3300. All right? I said we were going to 2200. We got that fill. You should see my DMs. You should see my messages. It's just an instant block for me. But right now, ETH has been the most weakest coin and the most disappointing coin of this cycle. All right. When someone with as massive as a dong that uh, whatever thing Butilic has, right? This coin is limp dick as fuck. All right. Um, Now, I am not bullish until this level is reclaimed. This is all news to me, noise to me, right? Um, although we got this liquidity grab and perfect bounce from support, this coin can go a lot lower than most people think, right? Now, sure, we can get a move up to here. You're making, a good 15, 16%. But I don't care for ETH until this level is flipped. I am not selling my ETH positions. I have a good, I'm only $20 above average currently, but I'll buy below 2K or I'll buy and add more to my positions above 28K. All right, this is just going to be noise and chop. Expect rejection from 28.25K. But on a lower time frame, right? Same kind of structure that Bitcoin has. We have a supply zone. Okay, we actually have a bigger supply zone in terms of consolidation around this level. All right, I think if we go back up to like 2700, it is a short that is around my TP level as well to de-risk a little bit. But I think you can take this short into another lower high and then a move down if we are to get it. Now this is a scalp play. I need more price action to develop before I actually give this in my channel. But for now, I can see that being a good short opportunity. Right. Longs, I mean, it's very hard to go long here on ETH. I think just like Bitcoin, if Bitcoin goes down to that 52K level, I don't think ETH pushes down this far down, but I think this can be a possible long attempt on ETH as to something like that. Okay, this is a 4-hour order block. DCA will come probably at the start of this 1-hour order block. So I would go in on light on this one, only because I don't trust this, but entry would be around 2360, DCA around 2290. This should bring your average down to somewhere there, and then we're targeting that $2,700 region for about a 3.3-hour trade once the DCA fills. Okay, if it doesn't fill, about a 2.4-hour trade. So I'll post this, and I will go back to the Bitcoin trade. The short is given in my channel, but here's the long. Okay. Sorry, one sec. I just want to point that out there. If whoever is, if you're in this server and this is you, your mother's a hoe. Okay? I don't know who this is, but he basically doesn't know how to trade. Shit posting on all my fucking message comments on my YouTube. So if you're in the server, your mother's a hoe. Back to our programmed. Let's take a look at Sol. Okay, so for Sol, current range, all right. They're both idiots. I don't give a fuck. So for Sol, right now it's just a range here. Okay, we take a look. Actually, one sec. We're approaching our mid-range level. Okay, So 153 is going to be our mid-range level of this range here, which also is very strong confluence. Now, if you took my Sol trade, right, um, we are basically almost break even. I have an average of 148.2. I was going to sell at 148 to de-risk a little bit, but this is one of the strongest looking coins. The BTC pairing is also strong as well. 154 is going to be our first test of rejection. But if we are able to flip this, I mean, like we have supply zone here as well. Okay. So I'm not going to be shorting this. I know a lot of people are going to be shorting. People love to short stuff that goes up, right, with no context or anything. So I'm putting this out there for the degens that want to feel something in their lives because their mother didn't give them enough love. All right. So this is going to be your first short. All right. So around 150.8 to 151, you're going to short with a very tight stop loss. Stop loss a little bit above here. All right. And you're going to look down for about a 3-point R trade. All right. So I'm not taking this again, but I'm just giving out possible short attempts. So about 150.8. Okay, your stops are going to be around 155. You shouldn't risk more than like 1 or 2% here, and you're looking for a move down to 140-ish. Okay, this is a little further down, but that's going to be your Sol trade. Now, for me, I would love to get a pullback into this little demand zone. Okay, and I would love to short, or sorry, long with this setup here. Okay, and Sol being Sol, the community of idiots. Um, I'm looking for a move like this. Okay, put in another double bottom here. Okay, but also a even higher low into this, making a cup and handle, right? And then if this level flips, I will add more to my positions, and hopefully we can target the top of the range if BTC continues to push up. Now, notice how we are way lower on Bitcoin and Sol, right? Sol is basically getting to the same levels before the Bitcoin dump, right? Yes, we went to 196-ish or whatever, but in terms of recovery, this is outstanding. So any dip on Sol and a few Sol ecosystem coins like Popcat are a buy, in my opinion. So I'm looking for a move down, and I don't think we get this move down, and if we do, it's going to take some time. But we also have another possible confirmation loading here where 143, if we can turn this into support, that is another long attempt that you could take. Okay, now stop losses are a little discretionary here because that's going to be way too wide of a stop loss there. So stop is probably going to be under 140-ish, and then we target 153. Right. So something like there's many trades you can take. Stops below like 140. Okay. All right. Maybe a little 3-drive pattern. This is a bearish 3-drive pattern. And this goes for my, I'm pouring one out for my homies that think this is a head and shoulders pattern, right? I've discovered this, or I've talked about this. That's not how you play a head and shoulders pattern. So I'm looking for a move down now on a lower time frame. Break down below, turn this into resistance. You're going to take a possible short attempt here with stops above and hopefully into our longs. But if we can flip this resistance into support, you'll take a long at 143, stops below 140, and you're going to target 153. So the risk to reward isn't great here, but this would be your trade. Okay. So many here, I'll post all these different types of confirmation plays. This one you're looking for move down on the 15-minute, turn this into resistance, confirmed resistance, move down, then you'll take profits at levels of support, right? So I'm going to leave that on you. Here is a Sol 1 hour play, right? Come back down, turn this into support, confirm the support, and then entry with stops below 140, and then you're targeting 150, 153-ish. Okay. And then my preferred trade. Okay. That demand zone. Okay. All right. Let me answer some questions. I'm pretty sure people have been typing. PopCap mentioned. Did anyone else mention it? Yeah, PopCat looks good. I'll chart it for sure. Are you still exiting it or holding till higher? I'm holding my spot positions. Now, I'm in a low term or short term spot position from 148. I still hold this coin in my long term bag from an average of $26. I'm not going to sell my long term bags until we reach all time highs or around $333. All right. There's a Bitcoin chart a little bit higher. You can, and also in my channel, I have a Bitcoin short given. All right, so I've covered the coins that I want to take a look at. So I will take some recommendations. So go ahead and list. Not every single coin will make it. I'm only here for another 30 minutes or so. So we'll do 30 minutes of charting here. And yes, this video will go on my YouTube after. So I'll wait for you guys to post some recommendations. I'm going to itch my third leg for a quick second, and then we'll go ahead and start. Thanks, Mr. Spammer. Alright. I'm assuming most of the coins suggested are coins that other people have called, right? So let's take a look at Tau first, because that was the first coin suggested. Now, disclaimer, these are just recommendations from you guys. If you guys are new to the server, I do this at the end of every single... So, at my streams, I cover only 3 coins that I want to cover, and that's Bitcoin, Sol, and ETH every single time. After that, I take member recommendations. These are not plays that I'm taking. These are just setups based on your recommendations. If I enter in a play, you will know because it's going to be given in my channel. Otherwise, if I give a call during the stream, none of these are setups that I'm taking unless, again, advised in my channel. All right. So Tau. This can't be the oldest chart, right? Oh shit, it is. All right. Well, Tau just had a sweep of the lows, right? I mentioned this again. Take the liquidity, close above. Once that candle closed, that was your long trigger. Had a 20% move. Now, line chart, we put in a possible double bottom. Okay, so bearing any news from the Middle East, this should continue to go higher. Now, my areas of rejection on the daily are going to be this daily order block. Okay, we should have rejection coming. I mean, we almost did, but at this level here. Okay, so that is my daily resistance with the order block there. Now let's go to a lower time frame. We rejected where we had a pullback. $15-minute looks like it can go. We got a little bull flag forming. If this breaks out and retest, I mean, you have easy invalidation. I'm not going to place my stop loss so tight there. Give myself a little breathing room. That would be your trade idea. If we have a breakout and retest, so you need the breakout to happen, close above, retest need to come down, retest and close above, and that is your market long trigger. Otherwise, if I do expect a pullback, now I don't know why this, this coin pumped because all the liquidity was grabbed, but maybe a move down into this region here. Okay, this order block could be a good long attempt. Okay, so come back down, put in a little cup and handle formation, and then go from there. Now, if we're taking a look at some fibs, right? Golden pocket does align with this demand zone order block here, but I don't think, let's see, I don't think we get that deep of a pullback on Bitcoin. 4K, sure. If we get stopped out here, then you're going to get long. Any students of mine here, right? Entry at the previous swing low, stops below there, and then we target much higher. Fucking hate seeing. One sec. Okay. So if we get that move back down, previous swing low, I know I made them daily, stops below the wick, and you target much higher. Right? At that point, it's going to be a triple tap pattern. One deviation, triple tap, triple bottom formation on the 2 hour, and then we target higher. Okay, so we have 2 scalp attempts here. And honestly, if you're looking to short, this would be the area to short. Okay, so something like that. Sui. This chart looks like shit. I think there are better coins to trade, but I wouldn't long until this breaks out and retests, and then we have a break in structure. Okay, we are putting higher highs there, but this is the last lower high here, right? So we don't have a break in structure until that is broken out from. Also coincides with, I can keep drawing this up. Okay. So this downtrend is still very strong, has not been broken. Breakout, retest, that then you can go ahead and long. Stops probably somewhere here. But this chart looks disgusting. I think there are better coins to trade. If we get a push back into here. most coins are going to have the same basic patterns, right? Every move had every coin had to move down and then slow grind up. So there's a lot of demand zones forming. There's a lot of order blocks that are forming. So basically, literally every single chart that I'm going to be looking at in the next 20 minutes are going to look like this. Okay. So come back down. I mean, the best long would be here. Okay, into a double bottom formation and then go much higher. Okay, but this would be a scalp and this would be your swing long if you get it. Yep. Okay. This was a very crucial support that we bounced from, turned into resistance. So if you're going to take this, that's going to be your swing long targets. So no confirmation long until this is broken out and retested. You get this order block or you get this one. Popcat. Beautiful. Market structure still intact, right? Higher high, lower low, higher high, sorry, higher low, higher low. Okay, so market structure is still intact. Now, this will be a very, very strong resistance area. Okay, so if we get there, that's most likely a short, but this coin's as a liquid as my stomach after Taco Bell. But if we get there, I think you can take a short attempt. It's going to be a very, very quick short, right? So probably a tighter stop loss than that. But I need more price action to develop. Now let's take a look at this on a lower time frame. Whoa. Okay. So downtrend still has not been reached yet. This order block got tapped perfectly. I think you can get it again. Again, right? Every single coin is going to have the same pattern. A double bottom would be great. The plays all literally look the same. Right? But I think you can get, per my definition of a demand zone, you can play this again. 50% has not filled. Stops would be okay. So entry around 41 cents, DCA around 37, and then stops would be under like 35. If we get stopped out there, then we enter the swing long position. This would be a scalp play. This is a very illiquid coin. Like you see these wicks, pretty illiquid. So just position your size carefully. Otherwise, if we don't get that, break out, consolidate a little bit, and then you target that resistance. Okay, we have resistance here. 1, 2, 3 touches, right? We're most likely going to reject here again. But if this breaks out and retests this level as an SR and holds, then you can target Now, price action, I mean, stop loss I can't give yet. We don't have a price or the price to be developed yet, but stop loss will be somewhere below here. So that's what I'm looking for on Popcat. Maker. My voice is starting to go away again. I saw a lot of fucking um, accounts show this as being a top performer, right? They've gone so quiet. Very important level to get above. If we can get above 2100-ish, then we can put in a deviation. We'll reclaim this support, and then I'll look for a move higher. We did, sweep liquidity. Let's go to a lower time frame. Every other chart is a slow incline up. Right, this one looks like it's bear flagging. Okay. I don't like these wicks. I think it's going to consolidate here for a little bit. It's going to range. I just don't like these wicks. Stop loss placements very hard. Yeah, like I honestly think it might go to sweep these lows. So I think sweep of these lows, you can actually bid the golden pocket. So around 1810, this would be the setup. 1810, DCA down to 1750-ish, stop loss below this wick, and then we target hires. And then short this coin at that supply zone. Alright, so that's what I got for Maker. Sui. Wait, did I go over this coin already? I did. I think I covered this on my last stream. Yeah, I covered this. Alright. Alright, here is a very crucial level for stacks. Here is the neckline touch of a head and shoulders. Okay. There's your left testicle. Okay. Right, and then there's the head, right? So if I were to go back, okay, if this rejects here, if we close the candle like this and reject, this most likely wants to go down. I would not long until this level is reclaimed. This is a very, very weak chart. So if we can reclaim this level and turn to support, you have a deviation, but this looks disgusting. I also don't know how this coin moves, but I'd short that shit if we get it. If it rejects here, you're looking at very, very tight stop. Yeah. Reject here, right? Now the daily still, we still have about 4 hours left, but it looks like it wants to reject. Possible short with a very tight stop loss, and then you target lower. I don't think this coin's good for longs. If you're longing, you're looking on a higher time frame. I don't see anything on a lower time frame. Yeah, this grabbed every place where you could have longed. Mm. Yeah, I don't see this coin as being a good long. Only shorts. Here you go. Alright, a few more coins. If Bitcoin does indeed pull back to 53K range, what's a good spot entry for Sol? Probably around 125 down to 110. No, I don't think Sol goes down that much. Maybe 136 down to 100. I still think Sol goes to, and I detailed this in my last video, I think Sol goes to like 165 to 190, and then I'm shorting that shit down to sub 100. I covered in my last video. BTC dominance. I mean, I can cover it, sure, but it's not a coin. So BTC dominance, I still have going to this area. So I don't think it's done. I still think we get, honestly, 59 to 61%. The 3-day chart flipped resistance into support, so it is still very bullish. The 3-day candle closes in 4 hours, so I still think this goes higher, which still means that there's going to be some pain for alts. But we better reject here, because if we reclaim this and turn into support, man oh man, retirement will come early for me. Ondo. This will be my last coin. I can feel my voice fading. Okay. So Ondo is at a very, very crucial level of interest here. All right. I'm going to bring this up with shitcoin TR really quickly. Okay. So let's take a look at these side by side. All right. Very good coin. I still think it does well, but it's very concerning. Okay. So this coin, consolidation, right? Okay. Here is your last higher low. Okay, no, my bad. This is a 3-day chart. Take a look at the line chart. See, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? Higher high, higher low. Okay. Now, what happened when this last higher low level, right, was touched? We bounced, we touched, we broke down, turned to resistance, and now we have a break of structure, right? Same thing happened with TIA. Okay. Consolidation, higher high, higher low. Okay. Here's your higher low. Okay. Bounced from this point, broke down, turned into resistance, and then came back down. Same thing's happening right here, right? Making lower highs, lower lows, lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay. Now we are at this point in for TIA right now. Okay. This was your last lower low, broke down, turned to resistance. Broke down. Are we going to turn this into resistance? If so, Ondo will most likely go back below 50 cents. Okay, so we need to reclaim this. Now we grabbed all this liquidity. We need to reclaim this, turn to support, and then you're basically going to play this range again. Okay, so basically from 73, 80, and then $1. Right? Otherwise, you better hope this doesn't play out because it looks exactly similar. Anything from 50 cents, sub 50, down to 35 cents is a buy. Okay. Let me see. I'm not going to be covering with Jupe, OP, and Wild. If you didn't buy any of the longs on the recent dip, would you still call your Bitcoin short? I think that you can take the Bitcoin short, but if you don't have any longs and you're just going to go into it net short, I would go in with a smaller size because it's going to be a manual stop loss. All right, so if we're going to close out for a loss, it's going to be a big one if you don't have any longs. So I think if you go in with a small size and risk only 2% of your port or 1.5% of your port, you should be okay. All right, so that's, yeah, no worries. That's going to be it for me. My voice is like completely going to be gone. I'll go ahead and upload this on YouTube and should